Before you throw another old coin into a jar, stop for a second. Because one tiny coin hiding in plain sight could secretly be worth a life-changing treasure. Across the United States, collectors are desperately hunting for a few rare coins that most people overlook every single day. They look ordinary, worn, even dirty. But behind that simple appearance could be a shocking secret that turns a forgotten penny or nickel into a powerful piece of hidden wealth. Tonight, on Crazy Valuable Coins, we're revealing 4 ultra-rare coins that have stunned the coin-collecting world with unbelievable values in today's market. These coins have been accidentally spent, lost in pocket change, and even thrown into coin jars without anyone realizing what they truly had. Some collectors call them silent treasures because they hide quietly among common coins, waiting for someone curious enough to notice the tiny details that change everything. And here's the most incredible part. One small mint mark, a strange color pattern, or a rare condition can suddenly transform an ordinary coin into something collectors fight over. The coins in this video are not just old currency, they are pieces of American history that could be hiding in your own collection right now. So don't skip this video, don't blink, and definitely don't spend another old coin until you watch this. Because coin number 1 already shocked collectors. And what happens with coin number 4 might leave you speechless. When collectors first hear about the 1941 wheat penny without a mint mark, many assume it's just another ordinary coin from the early 1940s. After all, millions of coins were produced during that era. But the truth hiding behind this specific coin, especially when it appears with that dark black antique look, an extra fine or extra good condition, has been quietly shocking serious collectors across the United States. The first thing that captures attention about this coin is its appearance. That deep, dark, antique tone isn't simply aging. To experienced collectors, it's often a signal that the coin has survived decades without aggressive cleaning or damage. Coins with this kind of natural patina feel like they carry decades of American history sealed into their surface. When someone holds it under the light, the details of Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front can still glow with remarkable clarity. On the obverse, you see the famous profile of President Lincoln, designed by the legendary sculptor Victor David Brenner. His design first appeared in 1909 and became one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. Around Lincoln's portrait, you'll see the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1941. The absence of a mint mark beneath the date means it was produced in Philadelphia, the historic facility known today as the United States Mint. Flip the coin over, and the reverse shows the classic 2 wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. This design is why collectors around the world affectionately call these coins wheat pennies. To many Americans, this design instantly brings nostalgia, reminding them of old piggy banks, coin rolls from grandparents, and jars filled with pennies sitting quietly on shelves. Now let's talk about the composition of this historic coin. The 1941 wheat penny was struck using 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This high copper content gives the coin its strong weight and rich tone. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, with a diameter of about 19 millimeters and a thickness close to 1.52 millimeters. Those measurements might sound small, but they are incredibly important for authentication. Serious collectors always measure and weigh rare coins, because even a slight difference can reveal whether a coin is genuine or altered. The history behind this coin makes it even more fascinating. In 1941, the United States was standing at the edge of a turning point in world history. Only months later, the nation would enter World War II, changing industries, metal supplies, and even the way coins were manufactured. Pennies from this era represent one of the last moments before wartime metal shortages forced changes in coin composition. That historical connection alone makes collectors treat these coins with deep respect. But what truly elevates this specific coin into legend status is its condition combined with rarity factors. An ordinary circulated 1,941 penny may only attract mild interest. However, when a coin survives decades with extra fine details, sharp wheat stalks, and a natural dark antique surface, collectors start to see something much bigger. They see a coin that escaped heavy circulation, avoided harsh cleaning, and preserved its original character. And here's the moment many viewers have been waiting for, the market value revelation. If you have a 1,941 wheat penny without a mint mark, showing a dark antique appearance and graded in extra fine or extra good condition, collectors have reported values reaching $690,890 in today's rare coin market. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single penny, something people often overlook, can suddenly transform into a treasure-level collectible when the right condition and collector demand align. This value reflects current collector interest and market activity, and the price continues to rise as more collectors compete for well-preserved examples. The rare coin market changes constantly, but experts repeatedly emphasize that coins from this era with exceptional preservation are becoming harder and harder to locate. For collectors, the most important tip is simple but powerful: never clean the coin. Cleaning may seem harmless, but it can permanently destroy the original surface and dramatically reduce its value. Instead, store the coins safely in a protective holder and allow professional graders to examine it if you believe it might be rare. Another key tip is to check old coin jars, inherited collections, and forgotten rolls of pennies. Many valuable wheat pennies were discovered exactly that way. People sometimes spend them unknowingly, not realizing they just released a small fortune back into circulation. The story of the 1,941 wheat penny reminds us of something incredible. Treasures don't always look like treasures at first glance. Sometimes they appear as small copper coins quietly waiting to be noticed. And remember, here on Crazy Valuable Coins, we bring you fresh discoveries and updates every single day, revealing hidden treasures that might already be sitting in your pocket change. But believe it or not, the next coin on this list shocked collectors even more. And when you see coin number 2, you might start checking every buffalo nickel you've ever saved. As we move deeper into this incredible journey on Crazy Valuable Coins, the second coin on today's list carries a story that feels almost unbelievable. This is the 1,945 wheat penny without a mint mark. And at first glance, it appears like an ordinary coin that millions of Americans may have seen in their lifetime. But collectors know something the average person does not realize. Certain examples of this coin, especially those with a light antique bronze look and gray-black spotting on both the obverse and reverse, can quietly transform into one of the most exciting hidden treasures in modern coin collecting. Imagine someone opening an old coin jar that has been sitting untouched for decades. Inside are dozens of pennies, most of them dull and forgotten. But among them sits a single 1,945 wheat penny, its surface carrying a soft, antique bronze tone mixed with gray and black aging spots, telling the silent story of decades of survival. Many people would simply spend it without a second thought. But for collectors who understand the subtle details of rare coins, that small penny suddenly becomes something much more powerful, a possible historic treasure waiting to be discovered. Let's begin by looking closely at the design of the coin. because the design itself is one of the most iconic in American coin history. On the obverse, the front of the coin features the well-known portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. This portrait was created by the talented artist Victor David Brenner, whose work has remained one of the longest-running designs in United States coinage. Around Lincoln's profile, you will see the familiar inscriptions, "In God We Trust," above, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1945 clearly stamped to the right. Beneath the date, the absence of a mint mark reveals that this coin was produced at the historic Philadelphia facility operated by the United States Mint. Turning the coin over reveals the beautiful reverse wheat design that gave these coins their famous nickname, Wheat Pennies. Two elegant wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the national motto E pluribus unum arching above. This design symbolized American agriculture, prosperity, and unity, making it one of the most recognizable coin designs in American history. Now let's talk about the composition of the 1945 wheat penny, because the materials used in this coin give it its characteristic weight and tone. The coin was struck using 95% copper combined with 5% tin and zinc. This high copper content creates the rich bronze color that collectors love. Over many decades, copper naturally reacts with the environment, producing the light, antique bronze shade and gray-black patina that we sometimes see today. Rather than being a flaw, this natural aging often adds character and authenticity to the coin, especially when the surfaces remain undamaged. The coin weighs approximately 3.11 grams, with a diameter, often referred to as the girth measurement, of about 19 millimeters. Its thickness measures close to 1.52 millimeters. These measurements may sound technical, but they are extremely important when verifying rare coins. Professional collectors often measure and weigh coins carefully to ensure that they match the exact specifications of genuine issues from that era. The history behind the 1945 wheat penny is deeply tied to one of the most dramatic periods in American history. This coin was produced during the final year of World War II. During this time, the United States economy was focused heavily on supporting the war effort, and metals were considered valuable resources. Just a few years earlier, the famous steel pennies of 1943 had been introduced due to copper shortages. By 1945, copper had returned to penny production, but coins from this era still carry the historical significance of a nation finishing one of the most defining chapters in its history. What makes certain examples of this coin truly extraordinary is the combination of condition, natural aging, and collector demand. When a 1945 wheat penny survives with very fine or very good details, collectors begin examining it more closely. The lettering remains clear, Lincoln's facial features are still visible, and the wheat stalks, on the reverse, retain strong lines. When that preservation is combined with a naturally aged antique bronze surface and unique spotting patterns, the coin begins to stand out dramatically among ordinary circulated examples. Collectors often describe these coins as survivors. They survived decades of circulation, countless transactions, and years of neglect, yet they still retain enough detail and character to tell their story. This is why the rare coin community treats certain examples almost like historical artifacts rather than simple currency. And now comes the moment that often shocks new collectors. If a 1945 wheat penny without a mint mark appears with a light antique bronze tone, gray-black spotting, and remains preserved in very fine or very good condition, collectors in today's market have valued such examples around $670. This is the type of coin that can instantly transform from a forgotten penny into something that collectors consider a hidden treasure of American coinage. What makes this even more exciting is the reality that many people have unknowingly spent coins like this over the years. They slipped into vending machines, parking meters, and everyday transactions without anyone realizing the story they carried. That is why serious collectors constantly search through old penny rolls and inherited coin jars, because sometimes the next discovery is hiding where nobody expects it. For anyone who believes they might have found a rare wheat penny, the most important advice is to protect the coin exactly as it is. Never polish it, never scrub the surface, and never attempt to improve its appearance. Natural aging and original surfaces are what collectors value the most. A coin that keeps its untouched character often becomes far more desirable than one that has been cleaned. Another powerful tip is to examine coins carefully under good lighting. Look closely at the date, the mint mark area beneath it, and the sharpness of the design details. Sometimes, the smallest detail can separate an ordinary coin from a truly valuable one. The story of the 1945 wheat penny without a mint mark proves something remarkable. Treasures are not always buried deep underground or locked in museum vaults. Sometimes they sit quietly in everyday places, waiting for someone curious enough to notice them. And here on Crazy Valuable Coins, we bring you fresh discoveries and rare coin insights every single day, helping you uncover treasures that might already be hiding in your own collection. But the next coin in this video takes the excitement even further. When collectors discovered coin number 3, the reaction across the coin collecting community was pure disbelief. And the story behind it might change the way you look at every old penny forever. Now the suspense grows even stronger here on Crazy Valuable Coins, because the third coin on today's list is one that countless people may have held in their hands without realizing the incredible treasure they were touching. This is the 1951 wheat penny with the S mint mark, a coin that at first appears ordinary but can quietly carry astonishing value when it survives in the right condition. Picture this moment for a second. Someone opens an old wooden drawer filled with coins that have been sitting untouched for years. Among them is a penny with a dark appearance on the obverse, faint green spots scattered across Lincoln's portrait, and grey-black aging layers on the reverse side. Many people would assume it's simply an old, worn coin and toss it back into circulation. But experienced collectors immediately recognize something different. That unusual aging pattern and preserved detail may be the signature of a rare surviving piece of American coin history. Let's start with the design of the coin, because the design alone connects this penny to one of the most recognizable figures in American history. On the obverse, the front of the coin displays the famous profile of Abraham Lincoln, a design created by the remarkable sculptor Victor David Brenner. This portrait first appeared on U.S. pennies in 1909 and quickly became one of the longest-running coin designs in the nation's history. Above Lincoln's head appears the inscription, "In God We Trust," while the word liberty rests to the left of the portrait. To the right of Lincoln's image, you'll find the year 1951, and directly beneath that date sits a small but incredibly important detail, the S mint mark. That small S reveals that this coin was produced in San Francisco, one of the historic facilities of the United States Mint. Coins from this mint often attract special interest from collectors because of their unique production runs and historical background. Turning the coin over reveals the classic reverse wheat design that collectors instantly recognize. Two elegant wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, while the motto E pluribus unum curves across the top of the coin. This beautiful agricultural design symbolized American strength, productivity, and unity, and it remained in use for nearly half a century before being replaced in 1959. Now let's look deeper into the composition of the 1951 wheat penny, because the metal content of this coin contributes greatly to its durability and distinctive appearance. The coin was struck from an alloy made of 95% copper with 5% tin and zinc. This composition creates the classic copper tone that wheat pennies are famous for. Over decades, copper reacts with air and moisture, producing natural aging effects. That is why some surviving coins develop dark surfaces, green spots, and gray-black layers. To an inexperienced eye, this might appear like damage, but in many cases it actually confirms the coin's authentic long-term aging. In terms of specifications, the 1951 wheat penny weighs approximately 3.11 grams. Its diameter, often described as its girth measurement, is about 19 millimeters, and the thickness is around 1.52 millimeters. These measurements may seem small, but they are extremely important to collectors and experts. Authentic coins from this period must match these specifications precisely, and even slight differences can reveal counterfeits or altered coins. The historical background of the 1951 wheat penny places it in a fascinating period of American development. The early 1950s represented a time of rapid economic growth in the United States following the end of World War II. Industries were expanding, families were building new homes, and everyday coins like the wheat penny were circulating widely through a booming economy. Millions of these coins moved through stores, banks, and markets every single day, making it easy for valuable examples to quietly disappear into circulation. But what transforms a 1951 wheat penny into something extraordinary is the combination of condition and unusual surface characteristics. When the coin remains in extra fine or extra good condition, the details of Lincoln's portrait are still strong. The lettering remains sharp, and the wheat stalks on the reverse still show clear lines. Add to that the unique pattern of green spots on the obverse and gray-black aging layers on the reverse, and collectors begin to see a coin with a very distinctive personality. Coins like this are often described as survivors of history. They pass through decades of transactions, yet manage to preserve the character and detail that collectors admire. Because so many wheat pennies were heavily circulated or damaged over time, finding one that still retains strong detail is becoming increasingly difficult. And now comes the moment that truly captures the attention of collectors. A 1951 wheat penny with the S mint mark, displaying a dark obverse surface, green spotting, gray-black reverse layers, and preserved in extra fine or extra good condition, has reached a remarkable value of $620,790 in today's rare coin market. This valuation reflects the powerful combination of rarity, collector demand, and historical significance attached to exceptional surviving examples. Yes, that small copper coin, something many people might overlook, can quietly become a hidden treasure worth an extraordinary fortune. The most incredible part of this story is that coins like this have often been accidentally spent or lost over the decades because people simply did not know what they had. Collectors constantly remind newcomers that the rare coin market continues to grow. As more collectors search for historic pieces and fewer well-preserved examples remain available, the value of exceptional wheat pennies can continue rising over time. For collectors hoping to discover coins like this, the most important advice is simple but powerful. Check every old penny carefully. Look for mint marks, examine the surfaces under good light, and pay attention to unusual colors or aging patterns. Sometimes the smallest detail reveals the biggest treasure. Another crucial tip is to store any interesting coins safely. Use protective holders and avoid touching the coin's surface with bare fingers, because oils and scratches can reduce its desirability to collectors. The story of the 1951 Wheat Penny proves something truly exciting. History, value, and hidden treasure can all exist within a single small coin. Many people unknowingly pass these coins along every year, never realizing they might have held a piece of American numismatic history. And here on Crazy Valuable Coins, we bring you rare discoveries and valuable coin insights every single day, helping you uncover treasures that may already be hiding in your pocket change. But the final coin in today's video is the one that has left collectors absolutely stunned. When you see coin number 4, you might never look at an ordinary penny the same way again. Coin 4, 1949, Wheat Penny, D, mint mark, the forgotten copper treasure, hiding in plain sight. Now we arrive at the final coin in today's incredible journey on Crazy Valuable Coins, and this one carries a story that has surprised even experienced collectors. Many people believe the most valuable coins must be extremely old or made of precious metals. But sometimes the most shocking treasures are hidden inside the smallest and most ordinary pieces of American currency. That is exactly the story behind the 1949 Wheat Penny with the D mint mark, a coin that countless people may have unknowingly spent without realizing the powerful treasure they were holding. Imagine opening an old family coin jar that has been collecting dust for decades. Among hundreds of coins sits a penny with a dark, rusty antique look, its surface showing black tones mixed with small green spots scattered across both the obverse and reverse sides. To the average person, it might simply appear old or dirty. Many people would toss it back into circulation without thinking twice. But to a serious coin collector, that exact appearance can signal something much more exciting, a surviving piece of American coin history that has aged naturally for generations. Let's begin by examining the design of this historic coin, because it carries one of the most recognizable images ever placed on American currency. On the obverse, the front of the coin features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design created by the talented sculptor Victor David Brenner. Brenner's design first appeared on the penny in 1909 and remained a defining symbol of American coinage for decades. Above Lincoln's portrait, you will see the words, "In God We Trust," while the word "Liberty" appears to the left of the portrait. On the right side of Lincoln's profile sits the year 1949, and just beneath the date lies a small but extremely important detail, the D mint mark. That D tells collectors that this coin was produced in Denver, one of the major facilities operated by the United States Mint. Coins struck in Denver during the mid-20th century circulated heavily across the United States, meaning many were worn down or damaged through decades of everyday use. Because of this, finding examples that still maintain strong details and natural aging has become increasingly exciting for collectors. Turning the coin over reveals the classic reverse wheat penny design that gave this series its famous nickname. Two detailed wheat stalks frame the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, while the Latin phrase E pluribus unum arches gracefully above. This design symbolized American strength, agriculture, and unity, and it remained part of U.S. coinage for nearly half a century. Now, let's explore the composition of the 1949 wheat penny, because the metal used in this coin plays a huge role in its appearance today. Like most wheat pennies produced before 1962, this coin was struck using an alloy of 95% copper with 5% tin and zinc. This high copper content gives the coin its rich tone and solid feel. Over many decades, copper naturally reacts with air and moisture, creating unique aging effects. That is why some surviving coins develop a dark, rusty, antique surface with black shading and green spotting. Instead of reducing the coin's appeal, this natural patina often confirms that the coin has remained untouched and authentic for decades. The 1,949 wheat penny weighs approximately 3.11 grams, with a diameter of about 19 millimeters. Its thickness measures roughly 1.52 millimeters. These precise measurements are extremely important for coin authentication. Professional collectors and grading experts carefully check these specifications when evaluating rare coins to ensure they match the official standards of original mint production. The historical background of the 1,949 wheat penny places it during a fascinating period of American development. The United States had recently emerged from World War II, and the country was experiencing rapid economic growth and technological expansion. Everyday coins like the wheat penny played a small but constant role in daily life as Americans rebuilt industries, expanded cities, and created a booming post-war economy. Billions of pennies circulated during this time, moving from pocket to pocket, store to store, across the entire nation. But that heavy circulation also meant that many coins were worn down, scratched, or lost over time. When a 1,949D wheat penny manages to survive decades of circulation and still display very fine or very good detail, collectors begin to recognize its special significance. The lettering remains readable, Lincoln's facial features stay visible, and the wheat stalks on the reverse still show strong lines. The unique features of this coin become even more exciting when combined with its distinctive appearance. The dark, rusty antique tone, along with black and green spotting across both sides, often signals a coin that has aged naturally without being cleaned or polished. In the world of rare coins, untouched originality is one of the most valuable characteristics a coin can have. Collectors sometimes refer to coins like this as hidden survivors. They quietly traveled through decades of American history, passed through thousands of hands, and yet somehow preserved enough character and detail to stand out today. And now comes the powerful moment that captures everyone's attention. A 1,949 wheat penny with the D mint mark, displaying a dark, rusty, antique appearance with black and green spotting and preserved in very fine or very good condition, has reached a remarkable market value of $640,990 in today's rare coin market. This price reflects strong collector demand and the growing rarity of well-preserved wheat pennies from this era. Yes, a single penny, something many people might overlook or spend without thinking, can quietly become a treasure-level collectible worth an astonishing fortune. Coins like this remind us that valuable pieces of history are sometimes hiding in the most ordinary places. What makes the story even more exciting is the reality that people still discover rare wheat pennies today. Some are found in inherited collections, others appear in old bankrolls, and occasionally they even turn up in everyday pocket change. That is why experienced collectors constantly encourage people to check every old coin carefully before spending it. For collectors, one of the most important tips is to leave the coin exactly as it is. Never polish or clean it, because the original surface and natural aging are what collectors value most. Instead, store the coin in a protective holder to preserve its condition and protect it from scratches or environmental damage. Another important tip is to examine mint marks closely. That tiny letter beneath the date can dramatically change the story and value of a coin. Many valuable discoveries have happened simply because someone took a closer look at that small detail. The story of the 1949D wheat penny proves that history, rarity, and value can exist within something as small as a 1-cent coin. What seems ordinary today might actually be a forgotten treasure waiting to be recognized. And here on Crazy Valuable Coins, we bring you fresh, rare coin discoveries and valuable updates every single day, helping collectors and curious viewers uncover the hidden treasures that might already be hiding in their own homes. So before you spend another penny, take a closer look, because the next small coin you find might not be ordinary at all. It might be a silent treasure hiding in plain sight.